Sometimes people don't want to speak up for themselves or go after what they want because they feel like there's too much competition. And that is such a bad excuse as well, to not want to fight for what's yours, fight for something. Don't let me say fight for what's yours. Fight for something because you feel like there's a lot of competition or there are other people fighting for the same thing. But you have to remember that the sky, it's not even the limit. I know people say the sky is not the limit. Like, the universe is vast, the universe is big. There's so many options and there's so many opportunities for everyone. And people always say, oh, they don't want to be a singer, they don't want to be an actress because a lot of people are doing it. Okay, so what? There's always spaces. We always have space for one more. For one more every single time. What I'm trying to say is that, like, there will always be space for you. And it's a limiting belief as well to believe that, like, you know um only one person can have something, or you can't get something. I'm telling you, you don't know that maybe you are actually what they're looking for, because at the end of the day, like, you are unique to yourself. You get what I'm saying? The personality you have, someone else doesn't have it. No matter what, even if it's similar, they're still not you. And you might be exactly what they're looking for. So you not going after something, you not starting that channel, that podcast, that YouTube, that TikTok, because a lot of people are doing it, it's just such a bad excuse, and you will definitely regret it. It's just one of those things, because later on you start to see people who actually go after that thing in spite of their doubt, in spite of their fears. And one thing I also always want to advise, because this is something I'm also speaking to myself about, is that sometimes, we doubt, we have a lot of fears, but doubt and fears are just there. But in spite of that, you should still go for what you want, and you still deserve it. And I think a lot of times you think that, oh, because I add a lot of doubt, I won't get it, or because I'm so fearful, if I do it, I might not do it well. It's best for you to be in fear and do something, than you being in fear and not do it at all, and let that fear hold you back. At least when you, even though you have the fear and you're still doing it, you're still making progress. As time goes on, there's this saying as well, like, time as well is a teacher of, I don't know if someone said it or I'm the one saying it, but I feel like time is a teacher of confidence. That is what I think, anyways. Big time and consistency. And I do feel like sometimes, when you start something, you feel like, you're not as confident in it, like, you're not that great in it. You might, start a bit wobbly, but when you start to do it continuously, you start to see that you get better. An example that came to my mind is a baby. When a baby starts to crawl, it starts from crawling, and you start to see that the baby is like wobbly, basically trying to walk. And then as time goes on, basically the child finds his balance and starts to walk properly. And and that's the same thing as when you start something. um you might not be as confident in it as other people are, but everyone's journey is different. We all start from a different, that's why there's no competition. You can't compete with people, because it's not even fair to put yourself in a competition, because one, you guys are from different backgrounds, different environments. You're not starting the same way. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the same experience. Maybe someone who comes online and seems so confident, they might have had many years of experience, and then you're trying to compete with them, whereas you're just starting out. So the point I'm trying to make is, even if you're scared, even if you have your doubts, still do it. It doesn't mean you won't get it. I've spoken to many people where they literally had so many doubts and they still get what they want. Like, they still achieve that success, they still get that job. And you can't say because you're scared or because you doubted something you won't get it. You will still get it. You just keep pushing, just keep going, training your mind, training yourself, like, to continuously, like, do something. You will become better in it. Even it's the same thing as physical, like going to the gym or dancing. When you're learning something physical, at the beginning you might not be great at it, but if you're consistent with it and you give it time, you will get better at it. So even if you're scared that, like, you're not as great as other people, or you're not, it's better for you to do it. Because I saw a video the other day, and it was just like, time will still go by regardless if you do it or not, regardless if you start learning. So it's best you start learning now and just go along with the time, rather than saying, oh, it's too late, there's no point of me doing. Well, time is going to pass anyways, so what's the point? I mean, what's the point of you just not doing it? It's best for you to do it and then let the time pass as you're doing it. So it means that you're learning, and one day you realize that it was good that you started, you invested, you decided to go for what you want. And one thing I always tell people is that, like, you don't want to regret not trying. There's difference between trying and you realize that maybe it's not for you, or you just you've run out of passion for it. But then there's now a thing of where like you you don't even try at all, like because you think that like it won't work out. How do you know it won't work out? You've not even tried it yet. Like it's such a silly thing. Don't be one of those people. Like, and it's just such a bad mentality as well, and bad habit to not want to take the risk. Like you have, I don't believe, I mean you have one life, but I believe in reincarnation. But what I'm trying to say is that like right now we have like, how many years do we, the average people, live? We pray to live to like 100 or so, but what I'm trying to say is that like we have that amount of time, and you're thinking about not taking the risk for what you want. Like, girl, boy, like get a grip and go for it. And if it doesn't work out, then you know that you've fulfilled that. I don't know how to put it, like you've tried anyways, even if it doesn't work out. Who cares? Okay, at least you've tried. And then sometimes I'm not gonna lie to you. Even letting you know, because I like to be vulnerable. I don't, not vulnerable. I like to like tell you the truth. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I have it all figured out. Because if I'm being honest, even sometimes in the past where things did not work out, I get so embarrassed that like I literally want to like delete the videos, because I'm just like, oh my god, like it didn't work out. People are gonna think I'm a failure. Like, oh, look at her, she tried to be an actress, she tried to be a singer, and it did not work out. And I used to have that in the back of my head, so I would delete the videos. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like even was it few weeks ago, last week, I still try to do it, but I've tried to like hold myself back whenever I want to do something like that. And even this podcast thing that I'm doing, this talking thing that I've been doing, I've tried to do it multiple times, and when it didn't work out, I deleted it. But there was one point where I decided that even though I don't understand what's going on right now or the path I wanted to take, I will still not delete the videos. And I'm glad I didn't delete those videos, because that is something I came back to now that I'm continuing to do. And the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes, people make you feel embarrassed for trying. And I saw a video that said that, like, you know what? Who cares? Even if you try different things, multiple things, who cares? It doesn't matter. Like, this is your life. You do have the freedom to try as many things as you want. And if you fail at it, you just keep trying other stuff. Like, a lot of times people want you to feel embarrassed for trying. And this is the annoying thing as well, where you can't fall into that into that thing where like people want to make you feel bad for trying. That's them. If they want to stay in one thing, good for them. Maybe they found their own thing. But if you've not found your own thing, or even if your thing is multiple things, that's good. That's okay. Like, who says you have to do one thing? Who says you have to do one thing? And I think, that's the limit. A lot of society has put on people that if you have to find one job, like, and stick to it, like this is the one thing you have to do for the rest of your life. But let's not, like, that sounds boring. Okay, that actually sounds boring, having to do the same thing. I mean, if you love it, that's great, that's not boring. But if you're now being forced to like stay in that one thing, because you can love multiple things, like love multiple jobs, multiple um you can have multiple passions. Like, you don't have to stick to one job. And I think, it's okay to explore that options of your passion, of what you love to do, because at the end of the day, you don't want to regret it, because you might find out that there are other things that you actually prefer, that you're so aligns well with what you're doing. Of course, I'm not saying that like every single time you have to find what's better. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that if you find that you like something else, like you enjoy doing something else, then there's nothing wrong with trying to do that. And if you fail at it, no, it doesn't matter. Just keep going, and don't care what anyone says, because as someone who's been there, I used to be so scared, like, scared to post, because I'm like, oh, what if it doesn't work out? People be like, oh, look at her trying. But what's wrong with trying? And the truth is that people will support you once they see that you've succeeded at it. But when you're trying, they're looking at you like, oh, cringe, cringe. A lot of people who are, even Michael Jackson, I'm telling you, if Michael Jackson was alive with this generation, if it's not because his timing was different, a lot of them might find him cringe, or because it's dancing or it's doing that. But like, if we're being honest, there's this thing about the cringe culture. Even I'm not gonna lie to you, sometimes I get cringed out, but the truth is you can't get cringed out because they're just being themselves, and we have to allow people to be themselves, to figure themselves out and find their path. Whenever I notice myself trying to be like, oh, so whenever I notice myself trying to be like, oh, what is this person doing, then I realize that no, actually they're just figuring out their life. I've learned to start giving people grace and giving people the space to figure themselves out, and in turn giving myself as well that space and grace to find out what I actually want to do, or explore multiple options. If I want to paint, then I can paint. If I want to be a singer, then I can be a singer. If I want to be an actress, then I can be an actress. Whatever I want to do, like there is no limit. Be whatever you want to be. The sky is not the limit. The sky is vast. Literally, the universe is big, and there are multiple things that you can do. You're not one person. I mean, you're not forced to be one thing. You're multifaceted, and you have to figure that out. And it's okay to do that. But yeah, that's literally what I wanted to say, honestly. Like, just make sure that you're not holding yourself back, all in the name of being embarrassed, because a lot of celebrities that are successful now, they had to put themselves out there. A lot of them were embarrassed multiple times, but look at them now, succeeding, enjoying. The people who were laughing at them when they were trying, where are they now? I mean, I'm not trying to say that. I'm not trying to say that those people didn't succeed, but what I'm trying to say is that they're not the ones enjoying the successful life that these celebrities are enjoying, because they decided to like just go for it in spite of the embarrassment, in spite of what people had to say about them. Now they're the one living their dreams. Now they're achieving their own dreams and they're achieving their goals. So you cannot let people say that, oh, what's this person doing, or the fear of people thinking you're cringe. Let people think you're cringe. Okay, let people think that you're cringe. In the next 5 years, when you're doing well, when you're succeeding, you won't even remember those people. So, and the thing is that people always say that like sometimes you have to take people's negative words with a grain of salt, because those people will say it, and then the next few hours they're already thinking about their own lives, but you're there still so focused on the negative comment someone made. And the thing is that the person who made the comment, they're already doing their own thing with their life. They've forgotten about you. So I think the point I'm trying to make is that just don't let people's negative thinking, negative thoughts of you make decisions for your life. You get what I'm saying? Like don't do that to yourself, because at the end of the day, that's you signing up your power to someone else. And yeah, and that's just not good at all. And it's something that you don't want to regret at the end of your life, where you're just like, oh, I wish I'd done that. And you don't want to have that resentment as well towards people who are also succeeding, because that's how jealousy starts, guys. That's how jealousy starts, because when you don't go after what you want and you see someone else going after it, you start to feel a bit of jealousy. You start to feel like, oh my god, out there they, but the things that you had the chance to go after it as well. So let's just do our best. We're not perfect, and it's okay even if you want to give up sometimes. But the thing is that don't fully give up. Don't fully give up. If you want to partially give up, you can partially give up when you're tired, but don't give up. You have to get up, and you have to just keep going, and just make sure you um just keep persevering, because at the end of the day, like, it is hard. I get it. Like, it's hard to go after the things you want. I know people always say, just do it. It's easier said than done, because the journey to even get there, guys, it does take a lot of like strong mental ability to go after what you want. So I do have to say that. So, but you do have to find the strength to always follow your heart and do your best to just try. Okay, there's nothing wrong with trying. You just don't know what you're trying might bring for you, and you should give yourself that chance. But guys, that is all I have for you today. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure this week, just do your best, even if it's one thing that is like one thing you can do to help you achieve your goal, or to help you move forward in your vision. Just try and do it, even if it's just one thing, and then you build on it. Sometimes it's not about rushing in at once, it's about just taking baby steps. Just like we talked about earlier, about like, babies, they start by crawling, and then they start wobbling, and then they start walking. Even if it's just doing one little thing every single week, or every single day just to get you to that goal. If you want to be a painter, then just do little, like draw something small, make that time, even if it's few minutes, and then you just let that build on. And if you're someone who wants to start a podcast, you can start recording. You don't have to post it. See how you feel, get comfortable on camera, get comfortable speaking before you start posting. But yeah, just make sure you're taking care of yourself, you're prioritizing yourself, because that is very important. But yeah, that is all I have for you today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll speak to you soon.